That's come up nice and clear, Shona.
Good, isn't it?
Good.
Mhm.
Thanks, Michelle.
Yep,
Thanks,
that's good.
Just wait for anybody else that wants to join us.
Yeah, I'll give it another minute. Might get a very personal session today.
Now, ladies, my children have obviously done something to this laptop
okay.
and disabled the camera.
Oh, no.
It's disabled for the meeting.
Yeah,
oh,
we've
it is.
disabled
Okay. Oh,
the
okay.
only, yeah, so you're fine. Only because we weren't sure about the width band.
Oh,
So
okay. Yep.
yeah, look, we
Yep.
probably could. Now that's
Oh,
only
no,
two
look,
people.
it's fine. I'm not overly
You're okay?
attractive.
Okay.
You're missing nothing. It's all good.
Right. Well, it is 1 o'clock. So
Yep.
you're going to get your very own personal
Oh,
session,
stop.
Mandy, which is amazing. But you can give
Yep.
us, this will be great, actually. You can give us some feedback because, like I said,
Yep.
you know, welcome. This is our
Yep.
first Office of the Public Advocate webinar that we are doing, it's a series.
Oh,
So,
okay. Yep.
oh, hi, Carol.
I've just allowed your cameras as well.
Yeah,
Just in
so
case. If
if
you
you
do
want
want
to.
to switch it off on, you can.
Yeah, feel free to switch on your cameras. And Carol, I was just saying a very warm welcome. Oh, there you are, Mandy. Hi, Mandy. Nice to see your face. And hi, Carol, as well. Welcome. Yeah, so this is the first of our webinars that we've ever done. So I think we will be learning and we will be teaching you. So it'll be a learning both ways. Yep. In some ways. And on behalf of the Public Advocate, Anne Gale, I'm launching this new webinar. She's actually done a little video to launch the webinar, which is on our website if you'd like to have a look at that. So my name's Kate. I'm the manager of the Dispute Resolution Service and the Information Service here at the Office of the Public Advocate. And I have two amazing colleagues that I work with who I call my brains trust. So they are here. Oh, it's Carol. Hi, Carol. Hello. Welcome. Nice to see you. You're on mute, Carol. So I'd like them just to briefly introduce themselves, if that's okay.
Yeah, so my name's Shona and I am a mediator here and I work in the Dispute Resolution Service and also help out with the Information Service. Over to you, Michelle.
And hi, I'm Michelle. I am the Information Officer and help out in the Dispute Resolution Service.
Thank you both. They're going to both talk in a little minute as well. So at the Office of the Public Advocate here in our roles, we give information about Advance Care Directives and we do that through our information service, which Michelle's going to talk about in a minute, and through providing information like we're doing today to the community in different ways. And we also resolve disputes under the Advance Care Directive Act, which Shona is also going to talk about today. But we'll start with the Advance Care Directive Act and why an Advance Care Directive is important. So the Advance Care Directive Act empowers you to write down what you want for your future in terms of your healthcare, end of life, preferred living arrangements, and any personal decisions that you might like for a time when you might not be able to make those decisions yourself. So the Advance Care Directive upholds those wishes and it clarifies those wishes for family and friends so that they know what you want and who you can trust to make those decisions. So you can appoint people to make decisions and we'll talk about that in a minute as well. It also prevents guardianship orders being made unnecessarily. So a guardianship order is an order that gets made when somebody isn't able to make those decisions about themselves, about their healthcare, their living arrangements and their personal matters, and somebody gets appointed that they may or may not know, might be our office, it might be a family or friend member, to make those decisions for them. So an Advance Care Directive prevents that from happening. It allows you to document what your wishes are and appoint somebody to make those decisions for you for a time when you can't make them. So there's always potentially going to be at some point in our life a time when we might not be able to make decisions for ourselves. It might be that we've had an accident. It might be that we've got a urinary tract infection. It might be all sorts of reasons that temporarily or more permanently we aren't able to make decisions. So the Advance Care Directive makes it easy for others to do that for you. So what is it? It's a legal document. You have to be 18. If you're 18 and you're able to make your own decisions, then you can make an Advance Care Directive. It replaces a couple of older documents that did a similar thing called an enduring power of guardianship, a medical power of attorney, and an anticipatory direction. So if you made one of those prior to the Advance Care Directive Act coming into play in 2013, they are still valid. But anything after that is an Advance Care, but they are still valid and considered an Advance Care Directive under the Advance Care Directive Act. Advance Care Directives do not cover finances, property, or legal decisions. So we often have people calling our office. Michelle will probably talk about this when she talks, saying someone's in the hospital, can't make their decisions, but I'm the power of attorney. So power of attorney does not allow somebody to make those healthcare decisions. It is also not a will as well. So when you complete, if you decide that you want to make an Advance Care Directive, you have to use an official Advance Care Directive form. Shona is going to share her screen and show you that form now. So you can't write it on a piece of paper or use a power of attorney document or anything else. You have to use the official form that you can get by contacting, and this is the form, and you can get that by contacting Services SA by their website or going actually in and collecting one physically. You can call the Legal Services Commission, or you can download the form or complete it online on the Advance Care Directive website. And that's the form there. And it's you can get the form, and you can also get a form and a guide that is can actually sort of help you to fill out the Advance Care Directive as well. So on this form, you can write down your wishes, and you can also appoint one or more substitute decision makers. The more detail you include in your Advance Care Directive, the better. So all your wishes. So if you have a pet that you really, really love and want to stay with, write that down. Write down, I want to stay with my pet for as long as I can. If you want to live in your home for as long as possible, write that down. If you really love your garden and gardens, write that down. If you love walking on the beach, if you love going to church, whatever it is that is important to you that you want other people to know about, write it down. So my mum, for example, she loves her garden, and she has written in her Advance Care Directive that she always wants to be with her garden, but if she can't, she wants to at least be able to have access to a garden or to look out to a garden. So that's really important to her. So whatever's important, write it down. You can include end-of-life decisions and what you might like at that time of your life. And in fact, we encourage you to do that. It's a really important aspect of an Advance Care Directive. It must be signed by an authorised witness. And the authorised witness is listed in the legislation. And it's registered professionals, JPs, Commonwealth government employees, managers, bank managers, police, like it's quite an extensive list. So it's not hard to find someone to be an authorised witness to make sure that that's witnessed properly. Okay. we really encourage everyone, when they've made an advance care directive, to give it to your substitute decision maker if you've appointed a substitute decision maker, and to your doctor, your GP, and anybody. Actually, give copies to anybody who is in your life who you think would be important for them to know, so they can uphold it when that time comes. So a lot of people ask us, so when is an Advance Care Directive activated? So an Advance Care Directive isn't activated per se, unlike a power of attorney. A power of attorney is activated when a healthcare professional, your GP, writes a medical certificate to say you're not able to make legal and financial decisions anymore. A really important part of an Advance Care Directive is that it's decision specific. So it means that you might have capacity for a really, really long time to make a lot of decisions yourself, but you might not be able to make some decisions. So for example, the example I always give is you might have the capacity to consent to the flu vaccine or a vaccine, but you might not have the capacity to consent to a complex surgery. So in that situation, if you appoint a substitute decision maker, the substitute decision maker will step in and make the decision that you aren't able to make. Not all of your decisions necessarily. Now, it might be that you aren't able to make all of your decisions at some point in time, but a substitute decision maker appointed under an Advance Care Directive is to support you to make your decisions for as long as possible, and to only make the decisions that you're not able to make. So you should be able to make as many decisions for as long as possible. So that's a really important distinction about an Advance Care Directive and a power of attorney and other legal documents. So your substitute, I'll just talk a little bit about substitute decision makers now. And a really important aspect, again, of a substitute decision maker is, as I said, to support you to make decisions for as long as possible, and if not, to step into your shoes if they have to make a decision. And this is actually the term in the legislation, to stand in your shoes and make the decision that you would have made if you were able to make it. So not make the decision that they think you should make, or not make the decision that is in your best interest, but actually make the decision that you would have made by reading about what's in your Advance Care Directive, what's really important to you, by knowing you really well, and by upholding your wishes. So, and if there's then conflict so if you've appointed a couple of substitute decision makers and there's some conflict between those decision makers, then our office can assist with that. And I'm going to hand over to Shona now to talk about our dispute resolution service.
Thanks, Kate. So one of the great things about having an advance
Shona, you've gone off. Can't hear you.
Is that better?
That's better. Yep, can hear you now. Sorry, we couldn't hear you then for a second.
2 cameras going. There we go. How about we try that?
Okay, and we have 2 other people who have joined us.
We've just got one. One is me.
One is you.
Bronya. Welcome, Bronya. So our dispute resolution service is able to help with disagreements that arise around decisions or decision makers that have to do with Advance Care Directives. And so the legislation, the Advance Care Directive legislation, actually gives us that authority if there's an Advance Care Directive in place. So that's one of the good things about having made that document, is that if anything tricky happens and your substitute decision maker or anybody else is having difficulty with making those decisions on your behalf, then our service, our dispute resolution service, can assist with that. Our goal really is to try and help people to keep their Advance Care Directive in place and to avoid what could become an application to the South Australian Civil and Administrative Tribunal for guardianship or something like that, as Kate mentioned at the beginning. Our aim is to uphold those wishes that are in the Advance Care Directive and uphold the instructions and the rights of the person who made the Advance Care Directive, and help everybody around them to work through any issues around decision making. So that's what we're here for, and we, try and help those people around the Advance Care Directive to do what Kate said about standing in the shoes of the person, and really help them to understand what that means and how the legislation would have them make decisions. And we do that by giving information, by helping people to understand where the disagreements are, talking through what some of the options and some of the different pathways through conflict might be, and also by offering a formal mediation service, so we can help with a family meeting or a mediation if that's helpful to people. Do you want me to hand over to Michelle?
Yes.
Michelle, I'm just going to hand over you to talk about the information service and how that relates to Advance Care Directives as well.
Thanks, Shona. So basically, you've been given a lot of information that's probably going to, your head's going to blow off, and you're going to leave this webinar and think, oh, I should have asked that, or I didn't know about that. That's where I come in. So when this webinar's finished, you think about something that you wanted to know, or you weren't sure of, or you didn't quite understand, you can ring our office and ask to speak to me, the information officer. I will call you back, usually within 24 hours, and I can give you all the information about Advance Care Directives, what they cover, how they work, how you do it, where you get them. I can tell you the differences about powers of attorney versus an Advance Care Directive and what they all cover, then guardianship and administration. So you can ring our office. I'm here most days, and you can speak to me about things that we've talked about today, or any other questions you might have about the Advance Care Directive, whether it's, whether it's suitable for you. You can do it a few ways. You can ring the office, and I'm sure these numbers are going to get put up. Is that right, Shona? Are we going to put some numbers up, or?
Yes, I can do that. Yeah.
So you can. Okay, so you can ring our office and leave your name and number. Ask the reception staff if you could speak to the information officer. Leave your name and number, and I will call you back, and I can talk to you individually about all your questions. You can go to the website. We have some fabulous fact sheets. We have a beautiful new website, thanks to Shona, and we have some easy read, easy to understand, easy to follow fact sheets that you can go on and, oh, look at that, and there they are. Fact sheets that will answer questions about Advance Care Directives, powers of attorney, and anything else. What does the public advocate do? Things that you might be interested in, you can get them off of our website. They're easy to get. There is an Advance Care Directive planning website as well, which is Australian website. They do have some information that you might also find helpful. Alternatively, obviously, you can ring me. Kate told you that how you can do the form. If you didn't get all that, by all means, I'm happy to tell you all of that. But yeah, you can ring me at any day of the week, and someone will get back to you and answer all those questions.
Thanks, Michelle. And I always say, what Michelle doesn't know, nobody knows. It's our brains trust. Both of them are. So so thank you all. So this first session was just a very brief overview about Advanced Care. I'm going to open up for questions in a minute, but we've got session 2 and session 3 coming up, and session 2 is going to be on binding and non-binding provisions under the Advance Care Directive, and that's a really important aspect. And then session 3 is going to be about medical consent, and we're going to then run through a case study about someone who made their Advance Care Directive and their substitute decision maker had a really difficult decision to make. So we're going to put it all into practice in that case study. So does anyone have any questions for us now? Did we do a pretty good job of explaining Advance Care Directives?
Or have we confused you? That's what.
Yeah, exactly. So any feedback is really helpful for us because, as I say, it's our first one. So, if there was anything that you wasn't clear, let us know.
Oh, I think from my point of view, it was very straightforward. It's very simple introduction, which is nice. Yeah.
Good.
For people who can't access the internet, which would be a reasonable percentage of people,
Yeah.
how then are they accessing that?
You can actually go and pick up a form at Services SA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, an actual physical form. They do at the moment. They charge a couple of dollars. I think it's about $5, but the form is in the process of being updated actually.
Yes.
And yes, and they're not going to charge a fee moving forward.
I'm not sure
okay.
if you can see this. If I hold it up, I'm not. Can you see that or not?
If you just pull it back a bit, Michelle,
just
I
go
think,
a bit closer, Michelle.
That's it.
Is that better?
That's
Can
the
you
one.
see?
Well done.
That is actually better. Yep.
You can see that?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
That's the actual kit, the do-it-yourself kit. The form is in there. That'll cost you $5. And I actually do recommend the kit if it's, you only have to buy the kit once, and if more than, lots of people, you can share your kit. But it just gives you a little bit more information about the type of things you could put in there. So Service SA will charge you $5 if you walk in and buy that. You're right, it is. Unfortunately, we do live in a world where it's go to the website, and that's not always possible for a lot of reasons. So Service SA do have the other place is the Legal Services Commission. You can walk in there and buy them from them, and they have several offices. They're in the city, they're in Port Adelaide, they're in Elizabeth. I don't know the others, but I know they're those three. But Services SA are everywhere, and they're your best bet. Yeah.
Any other questions?
I was just going to add that in the next, you've got me twice.
Can they hear you?
Yeah, I think.
I can hear.
Can you hear
Oh,
me?
they
Different
can.
angles though, Shona.
Yeah.
Different angles. I was just going to add that everybody will get another email.
Yeah.
Because we are having another session. So as far as I know, we couldn't do a repeated meeting. So we have to send out another email to register again for the second session.
Oh.
It's on November the 17th at 1 p.m. again. So if you want to book that into your diary, that's great. And we'll send you an email so that you can register for that, probably at least the week prior.
Okay.
And there's another one on the 3rd of December. That will be our last one.
Is it the 3rd, Shona, or the 1st?
First.
Oh, sorry, the
Okay.
1st of December.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It said session 3, December 1, so I can
Oh,
see
yeah.
why you got the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Oh, good.
Very good, Michelle. Thank you for picking that up.
That's right.
Yeah. So, and in the meantime, yeah, if you have any questions, then can call our Michelle on the information service and ask anyway. It's good.
Absolutely. Happy to
Yeah.
help.